What inspires change? What motivates us? It's what's inside that moves us. What moves you? Get the Scion story at scion.com.
The QC program offers tax breaks to qualifying businesses. It's administered by the Guam Economic Development Authority, and it's been in effect for nearly 50 years. The program aimed at stimulating investment in and creating jobs here on Guam. Yet, in this first ever OPA audit of the program, despite its nearly half-century of existence, the auditors could not determine whether it has generated any of its intended benefits, because there is insufficient data and GIDA has no accepted performance measurement plan in place. Llewellyn Terlahi was the lead auditor.
They have no reliable methodology. They're just accepting what the beneficiary reports with no independent verification.
So the only records that GIDA has of the benefits is what the beneficiary tells them?
Yeah, and we've noted that they only have information from the period of our scope. I guess they just started compiling it, which is kind of shocking because it's, like, again, been in effect for nearly 50 years.
The audit is especially critical of what they call the generous tax benefits granted to the island's insurance industry. In one case, the auditors found that GIDA itself had calculated that GovGuam would suffer an economic loss of $95.2 million over a 20-year period as a result of a QC which GIDA granted to one unnamed island insurer.
We found in this case their economic model showed that it will result in a 95 million economic loss, projected loss, but they still awarded this QC. And the response is because the law intended to develop the insurance company, that didn't play a factor.
If you're going to invest $6 million into this community, why are we going to give you $120 million or $100 million in return? That's crazy. Why were they approved? I mean, GIDA does not have to recommend approval.
Well, didn't they bring value to Guam in terms of employment and investment?
Well, we don't know because they also had to, they had no metrics by which to measure that.
The performance audit was conducted at the request of Senator B.J. Cruz, who says he's not opposed to the goals of the program, but he is opposed to the inflexible way that GIDA applies the QC law.
I'm in favor of QCs if they bring in additional employment and additional income. But you don't need to give everything. And everybody looked at me like, no, you have to give them 100% of this, 75% of this, 100% of this, 100% of this, and 100% of this. And I'm like, it's clear in the law. You can limit the amount, what percentage, and you can fix the amount.
This one here specifically states a rebate of 100%. So that flexibility is not there for those specific industries.
So you would disagree with Senator Cruz on that?
It's our interpretation of the law that it doesn't allow for that.
GIDA officials held a news conference this afternoon. Administrator Henry Titano said they may disagree with some of the technical recommendations made by the OPA, but they do agree on the need for better metrics, and they've already begun work on that.
I think at the end of the day, we do agree, I think, with the public auditor, and I think with most people in the community that we do need a very relevant and credible way of assessing economic impact. And that's obviously something that we've been very public about developing, within the last couple months or so, and it's something that we've done. We've taken some action on. We've added, like I mentioned, the Commerce and Economic Development Division, and we're also, looking to bring in economists here.
However, Titano also emphasized the importance of keeping the program because it's a valuable marketing tool for GovGuam.
It is an investment tool, and one of the things that we...
So it is beneficial and it is needed.
Yeah, absolutely. Are there issues that we need to address? Of course. But, we are in a competitive environment when it comes to investments, and especially in our tourism, for instance. So, what we do need to do is just maybe target the areas where we can improve the program.
Kevin Kerrigan, PNC News.